Hello, welcome back to the Good, Bad and Stupid News. It's Thursday the 15th of August. Doing it quite late today because there's something not quite right with the lighting. I'm not too sure exactly what, but I've been mucking about with it for a while and I've had enough. I didn't realise when doing these videos, well, I did realise, but all the other jobs that you have to do other than the actual video. You got to be the bloody sound man, editor, video, cameraman, actor or artist, newsreader, and you know, and then also get all the shit together that you're going to put in the video. So yeah, it's not easy, but at the same time, I'm doing it for my own benefit, I suppose. But I hope you appreciate it, all those people that are not yet watching this video. So tell your friends. Tell all those people about this crazy Brummy guy that talks shit on the YouTube. Also on the Podbean, because if on the podcast, these audios are going to be now put onto podcast. The audios from the videos, so you haven't got time to watch the videos. You can put it, find it on podcast. The Good, Bad and Stupid .podbean.com, but it's also on iTunes and stuff like that as well. So I don't know what the situation is with the lighting, so if you can or can't see me or my head's too shiny, sorry about that. I'll try and fix it tomorrow, but I've got to get on, otherwise I'll never bloody get it done. So cracking straight on, what we're going to start with is Prince Harry, who's headline news today, isn't he, because he went off to Ibiza on his private jet after not long coming back from was he going off on his private jet and everyone's getting the being the bonnet about his he's been an eco warrior, but then he's private jetting everywhere, isn't he? Because unfortunately, being a prince, he could get on an easy jet, he could get on the fucking all those plates, but they're trying to say he should have gone on an easy jet, you know, the carbon footprint, so whatever, and there's 9 flights or whatever. Can you imagine Prince Harry getting on an easy jet? I mean, he should, fucking course he should, but there's always that divide, isn't there, between the royals and the reals. The Jacksons, they fucking played it cool and went on EasyJet last week. But, you know, they're not royalty, are they? They might be music royalty once upon a time. But could Prince Harry actually go and get on an EasyJet flight with all the pissheads and all the fucking possible hen parties and all that stuff? He wouldn't be left alone, would he? But at the same time, should he be going on a private jet? Well, what he should do is just not be an eco warrior. Do your private jet, do all your fucking whatever. Not flying to, what was that thing the other week? Last week I was talking about where when they went over to Dubai. Was it Dubai or Italy? It was somewhere anyway for like an eco meeting, and he gave a barefoot speech about the perils of climate change, and it was so like fucking ridiculous considering they've all flew there on the private jets, and he's giving this barefoot speech like he's giving it the eco one. If you want the private jets and you want the lavish lifestyle, don't be an eco warrior. Don't have it. You can't have it both ways. You can't fucking tell everybody else, you know, to fucking turn your tap off between brushing your teeth, or you fucking bathe in ass's milk or whatever, you know what I mean? It's just one rule for you and one rule for them then, isn't it? So I would say, from my advice, Prince Harry, if you're watching, is def the eco thing and just fucking live it up. Have all the private jets, it's good lifestyle, but we're not going to listen to you if you're fucking telling us not to fucking live it up either. Been pissing down again, hasn't it? It's been pissing down in some parts of the country. I just pulled out this photo, is it from yesterday, when it was fucking belting down. All the Chinese tourists there, going from Cambridge, I think, on the gondola. Look, loving the weather, loving it. Probably thinking we'll never come back to England again. That fucking place is soaking wet. 2 weeks spent under an umbrella. Camera's soaking wet. No, they look like they was having a good time. There's another photo of them smiling their head off, so they're probably like, maybe it doesn't rain where they come from. Maybe they're just like, fucking hell, this is great. The opposite of like 45 degree boiling hot, sticky weather. So horses for courses, isn't it? Chicken gate is the big news today as well, isn't it? The chicken shop boxes bearing stark warnings about the dangers of knife crime have been sent to hundreds of takeaway outlets in a bid to keep people safe. Whose idea was that? Whose idea to send, right, get it, what we need to do, and we need to do it quick, is print messages on chicken boxes, send them to the fucking takeaway places. Because that's where the kids are hanging about, unfortunately. Well, apparently, or is that just like a stereotype of this kind of kid? They all in chicken shops, are they? The chicken shops dangerous places now to go as well. You know, they're taking them to Morley's Chicken Cottage, Dixie Chicken, all that, as if like, you know, chicken is also part of the gang culture, is it? It's like, if people are hanging around chicken shops, it's because they're not got no fucking other place to go, is it? I mean, why don't you just open some youth centres or give them places to go other than chicken shops, or hang around shops if they're causing trouble, or they've got nothing else to do. But if they've got nothing else to do, that's what happens, isn't it? They just end up with, I don't say getting bored, but just getting diverted into these kind of situations. So you're not giving them anything else to do. So writing a message on a fucking chicken box is no use to nobody, you know. But they're going to read it and go, oh right, okay, you know, that I remember that day, that changed my life. No, they're going to walk out of the chicken shop, going to meet somebody with a knife who hasn't been in the chicken shop, and fucking shit gets real. So yeah, I mean, stupid. That's got to have come from somebody who's never been, I'm going to say, been to the streets, or been, you know, they're not from that environment. Otherwise, they would just laugh. They would just laugh it off. You know, that's got to come from somebody who lives in a fucking wealthy area, well, just removed from the situation, who thought, oh no, these kids like chicken, we need to give a message to the kids, let's put things on chicken boxes. Anyway, wouldn't be the first thing I'd have thought of anyway to do. A fish shop boss was stunned when a family complained that his chips tasted of potato. An angry mum, who wished to remain anonymous, of course she does, because it's fucking ridiculous, has vowed never to return to the Brockworth Fryer in Gloucester. I don't think you'll be welcome or missed either at the same time. My daughter could still taste the potato in the chips. It wasn't cooked properly. Fair enough if it wasn't cooked properly. Yeah, if it's not cooked properly, you can say, but say it tastes the potato. Just say it's not cooked properly. We had one tiny scoop. I wouldn't even feed a 4-year-old child that. All I get from this is that you're just really, really fucking highly strung, and probably a right pain in the arse to be around. What's the fellow like sat down? He's probably enjoying it. He's just about to tuck in. He's just going, come on, we're not staying here. We're fucking off. Them chips taste the potato. I ain't having it. You know, nobody else, never had a complaint like it since. And also, most people just send it back if they're a problem. Send it back, they'll replace it, give you one that is cooked. Everybody's happy. But no, you've had to leave the place, ring the papers. The paper, obviously it's a shit paper because they thought that was good enough to put in the paper. And everyone's a loser. You want to remain anonymous because you know you're being a prat. What was, you know, where's it got you? Absolutely nowhere. Beware next person who meets this woman, or next restaurant that this woman turns up at. Speaking of potatoes, a teenager concerned about plastic pollution in our oceans has stumbled upon proof of the problem. A crisp packet which is 51 years old. I guess that means it doesn't have Gary Lineker's face on it. Charlie was out for a walk with his dad and he found a plastic packaging on a rock ferry. Well, yeah, because this shit doesn't degrade, does it? That's just floated around, and landfill. landfill. It could have come from landfill. Well, it could have come from fucking anywhere. Could it? Of course, it's a sad thing that shit turns up. I mean, that's probably floated. That might have been around the world and come back. But it's a packet. It's 51 years old. But there's millions and millions and millions of packets that you're putting in the ground now that will be hundreds and hundreds of years old. They ain't going anywhere. So it's funny now because more you're conscious about the plastic, I'm getting pissed off with taking plastic off things. It's like, fucking hell, plastic, plastic, plastic. But before you were doing it just unconsciously because it's always there. But now when you're conscious of it, I'm like, fuck me, why do I have to put plastic in that? Plastic, plastic, plastic. And it's like, it's quite tedious. It's like, it's good that they're making it become forefront, but they can't cope with the recycling. The recycling thing where I am, it's like, fucking hell, you're trying to kaplunk everything into the thing because it's like overflowing because everybody's getting like everyone's onto it and doing their bit, but they haven't got the resources. It's like fucking dropping all over the floor. The seagulls are fucking taking it and dropping it all over the place. So yeah, they need to get it together, I think. So yeah, 51-year-old crisp packet, Golden Wonder, probably worth some money. You must have checked that with the auction. I'm sure somebody sold a crisp packet that was like one of the first ones. It went for a few £1,000. So that's the first thing I'd be doing. Always think about it, money. The couple have just taken over the remote island of. They've got the dream job of taking over an island. They're going to be paid to look after an island as full-time residents. The only two people, full-time residents, have barred the island off the Lynn Peninsula of North Wales. After the last guy who got there, his dream job, they had to leave after one day because his son slipped and fell on the rocks. So it's obviously a dangerous place, but and they had to leave after one day. I always think of that, and that sounds really good, but then I always think about that on the island, those kind of British horror films, when you're just alone on this island and there's nobody else around apart from this crazy dude who turns up and starts fucking coming after you or whatever else. But apparently they have lots of tourists and everything like that, so they've got to deal with them. But they're going to be the only two people on this island, so yeah, it'd be good. It'd be good for it's a dream come true. It'd be good for a short time. Get away from people. Get away from fucking the rat race or whatever. It's not too far away from the rat race. I remember I was travelled through Australia and we stopped in a town. I caught a train that was 3 days. And 3 days through the outback, and the outback was just nothingness for hours and hours and hours. This train bombing it past, and we stopped at one town, and the town was called Cook, I think, and it was an old mining town, and there was nobody there. Everybody had left. There was no mining left, and there was just all the houses and everything there. But there was just two people that still lived there, a couple, and they were weird. Because they lived there by themselves for like 20 years. I think they would have left the town 20 years ago and they just stayed there by themselves for 20 years. So I thought, if that train leaves and I get left behind, then it's going to be the other way around. It's going to be the couple fucking chasing you down. You probably end up like some kind of, I don't know, sex slave or fucking food or something or other. I wouldn't like to think. Because once that train left, there weren't another one for another couple of days, so you'd be hiding out somewhere in the town. But yeah, it was a weird place. They were selling postcards that were also 20 years old. Everything they had there was 20 years old. So I think they had supplies dropped once when somebody passed through once a month or something like that. It's proper remote. You can handle that for a couple of. There's nothing there. Not even a bar. Not even a shop. Not even nothing. So yeah. They're definitely cuckoo. Totally juxtaposition here because I was going back to something else. I think I've put these in too good an order. I was too busy trying to sort out the camera. A homeless person is dying every 19 hours, claim campaigners, calling for more action to help rough sleepers. It's a soundbite that rolls over and over and over again. This social justice group, Museum of Homelessness, found at least 235 people affected by homelessness has died in the past 6 months. It's a scandal, of course, but it says those who died were aged between 16 and 104. Well, fucking, of course, the age between, that's pretty much adults, unless they're homeless children, which I'm sure there are, but between 16 and 104. You didn't even have to say that, did you, really? That's pretty much covering all age groups. But it also lends you to think that there was a 104-year-old homeless man, and that is just sad as anything could be. 104 homeless, left to fucking die, and he's died, obviously. He's left to die on the streets. So, you know, what I always think about that is there's more millionaires in this country than there are homeless people. So, come on, people, where's your morals? It's not your. People just think it's not their problem. It's not their problem, but at the same time, no other fuckers doing anything about it, do they? So, somebody needs to stand up, do something about it, or help someone. Again, I'm a holy grail about it because it's the kind of thing that you constantly hear about, don't you? But still, no fucker does anything about it. All those conservatives, just put it down. It's nobody else's fault. It's the politicians, the conservatives alone, wealthy enough to deal with one. How many times have they actually ever been down and even met a homeless person? Not just like Conservatives, Labour, anybody. I'm not going to just lay it at their door, but they're the government, so they're the ones who should be, at the very least, doing it. Anyway, I'm trying not to be too depressing in this one, so let's move on. Let's talk about the man who spent 50 years collecting hole punches. A man spent 50 years and a small fortune collecting hole punches, and when he's come to sell it now, he's going to get just 200 quid. You know why? Because nobody else wants hole punches. And if he gets 200 quid, he'll be fucking lucky. He's got 204 of them from all over the world, dating from the 1800s to 1960s. Why don't you just not sell them? Why don't you just make like a quirky little hole punch museum? Charge everybody a quid. You'll get more than his 200 quid. Some people will come. People, just a novelty in it, odd thing to go and visit, or put it in somewhere. If they're all quirky hole punches, they're obviously not just them shit ones you get from Ryman's. These are like from the 1800s and stuff, so they're probably quite interesting to look at, but it's a shit thing to collect, any hole punches. And his wife thinks just that because she's told him to fucking get rid of them. Otherwise he's like, she'll get rid of him probably. He can either it's you or the hole punches. So he's having to you know, do what she says. Tea sales are booming in Britain's coffee shops. I don't think I've got anything to say about this, but I don't think Great British Cuppa makes a comeback, it's saying, but I didn't even know it went anywhere. I suppose people don't really order it when you go out, do they? Unless you're in a tea shop. Because if you go to a coffee shop, you order coffee. That's the point. But I'm pretty certain tea bags in people's houses are flying through the kettle. Because problems mean tea, and everyone's got problems, and everybody solves their problems by drinking tea. Or everybody like comes at you with a problem, and you can't think of anything to help them. You just go, fancy a cup of tea? You know, that's your kind of get out clause to kind of like, you know, they try and drop a bit of a problem on you, and like fucking ask them if they want a cup of tea and then leave the room or something. Anyway, tea's good. I've only just found tea that I'm not drinking milk. So I've been trying all them different milks, and I actually didn't drink tea for a while. Maybe that's why. but I didn't drink tea for a while, and now I found oat milk for all those out there that don't like soy milk in tea or any other ones, and you try all these different things and think tea don't taste the same. Oat milk, it tastes pretty much the same, so I'm back on the tea now. So it's all good. So yeah, I'm part of the comeback, part of the Great British Comeback. This is a sad photo of an elephant that somebody's put up. It's rescued it, thank God, but it's like it's been to mark World Elephant Day. It's an emaciated 70-year-old elephant that was basically a skeleton, and that picture don't do it justice to how bad it was, because I saw another one and it was like just literally skin and bone, and they were still making it work and they weren't feeding it or anything like that. And it's just one of those places where it's Sri Lanka where they just treat it like well, just don't see it as an elephant, do they? They just see it as work or as something to earn them money. They don't see it. They see it as a commodity. They don't see it as a, you know, us over here. We're like, ah, the lovely elephants and stuff, but they see it as we need to rip these trees down and fucking get some money off these tourists. So, but they can at least feed the fucking thing. 70-year-old. It's quite old, really. 70-year-old. Fucking, I didn't know they even lived that long. I bet. Well, most of them don't, do they? I don't know that because they're all fucking shot for their tusks most of the time. So, probably, although it's been worked to death, it's still alive compared to a lot of the ones that. Was it apparently there's 300 elephants. Oh, I can't remember the statistics now, but there's so many per week or per month that are being shot or killed, poached, that if you worked it out over 10 years, they'd be all gone. So this is what the big thing was to save the elephants, and they were saying something like an elephant a day is being killed, or something like that. That's 300 a year. If you worked it out over how many elephants were left, they'd all be gone if you let it carry on. Anyway, did I say I wasn't going to get too depressing? I'm going to move on to something that's got to be something light-hearted here. It's been a slow news day. I'll tell you, it was hard to... Let's have a look at... let's have a look at Simon Cowell's face. That'll cheer a few people up. He just looks weird, doesn't he? I've mentioned him before, but now he's back in. He's had some more work done. They're talking about how well and how young he looks, but I just think he looks strange. He looks like he's like can't fucking move a muscle. He's almost like he's frozen. A cross between, he's merged into a cross between David Walliams and a Tupperware box or something. He's like really strange eyes, like kind of doll face, but you know, trying to kind of trying to look good on the telly or something. Fuck knows, but I don't get it, because all everyone's going is, God, what's he done to his face? So that's all you're getting. So you're better off just going for the old look. Anyway, up to him. He's got money to burn, money to spend. He's probably run out of other things to spend it on. He said, fuck it, let's get a shitload of Botox jabs in my face, see how that turns out. Right, Woodstock, 50 years of Woodstock this year. Is it like celebrating the 50 years of Woodstock? And apparently there was 400,000 people at that. It would have been good to be around in those days. Love the 60s. Love everything about the 60s and 70s. That's why I want to watch this Tarantino film. That's based around the 60s. And all the sort of music and fashion and all that kind of stuff. It was like all pretty cool, wasn't it? But yeah, there's a big long list of things here that are all about Woodstock, but I don't think I can bother to go through them. But Jimi Hendrix played at 9 o'clock on the morning. Last performer was Jimi Hendrix, who, because of the rain delays, didn't appear until 9 AM on Monday morning. So everyone was fucking wasted by the time he came on. That's probably why they remember his performance so well, because that was the 3 days after having no sleep, and then he starts at 9 AM on Monday morning, when he did his Star Spangled Banner thing and whatever else. But what was he saying with his band Gypsy Sun and the Rainbows? And he played for more than 2 hours, which many watched and then left. But yeah, that's the thing that you always see about Woodstock, ain't it, Jimi Hendrix? So he obviously headlined, but 9 o'clock in the morning. So they all fucking sat in the rain all night to get to that. What's this? Only Fools and Horses. I didn't know this. Real Life Del Boy is offering guided tours of Only Fools and Horses locations for £200 a pop. He's got himself a Yellow Robin Reliance, and he's going around the set and taking people on tours around the 12 old filming spots on a 5-hour trip around Bristol. I thought it was what's it called? Well, apparently it was filmed in Bristol, or the spots are anyway. Nelson Mandela House and all that stuff. It's meant to be in London, isn't it? So there you go. Didn't know that. So if you fancy a tour around the spots of London with somebody who's dressed as Del Boy, get in touch with him. He's a canny businessman and a die-hard fan of the classic comedy, and he hires out for weddings as well. Yeah, I'm a die-hard fan. Love Only Fools and Horses. Fucking brilliant. I ain't got time to go into it now. Maybe another time. But some of them early episodes just crack me up. Grandad. But there's somebody else. Oh yeah, somebody else has made a Lego. So the picture of all these people on the podcast, you're not getting to see these pictures. You have to watch the video. Sorry about that. I must do less pictures maybe. But somebody's done a Lego of Grandad, Del Boy and Rodney. A massive one as well. Because you can see him carrying it there. And they've made that out of Lego. It's almost like perfect. I've always got a weird knack, a weird skill. How do you find that you're great with Lego to make real things? He must have like sat for fucking hours, bored himself to tears until he's come up and realised, I'm the Lego man. That's my skill. It was a great bit of art. Anyway, Linda Lusardi. Some of you woke millennials won't remember Linda Lusardi. She was a page 3 girl, wasn't she, or a glamour model. But I can't believe I've only pulled this out because I thought I was amazed at her age, because that's Linda McCartney. Sorry, podcast people, this is another picture, but that's a picture of Linda Lusardi there, 1988. And look at there, right? She's 61. That is 61. She's obviously going to a much, hopefully that's all natural, but either that or she's going to a much better Botox physician than Simon Cowell is, because she's looking fucking fantastic for 61. So good for her. What's his last couple of things here? Yeah, so yeah, that's good. I mean, page 3's long time gone now, isn't it? But that was big business once upon a time. They were fucking mega rich, them girls. That's good. There's a theatre show at the Edinburgh Fringe. That's the a theatre show of Jaws, and it's the scene where the 3 guys are sat in the bar, you know, showing me the way to go home. When they're sat on the boat, getting drunk, talking to each other about whatever. And they've recreated that scene, but obviously for a show, so there's longer stories and stuff. But the guy who's in it is the son of Captain Quint, you know, the crazy dude who scratches his nails down the board. Because, you know, what was his line? Anyway, that was his thing, when he scratched his nails down the board. But that's his son, and his son absolutely looks a spitting image of him. I thought it's quite uncanny. So, and they've recreated the scene and everything, and they all look, all the actors look like the other person, to be fair. But I was quite surprised how much his son looks like him. Anyway, it's a good show if you want to go and watch it. It looks good anyway, and I'd quite be interested to see that. But yeah. that was just the promotion for them. I don't know what else I was trying to say with that, but at the same time, he just looked. Sorry, podcast people. I'm going to show him. Look, that's him there. Looks like him, doesn't it? Right, last few to get on with now. Gemma Collins. Gemma Collins. Everybody know who Gemma Collins is. Not really want to, but I've seen her. Gemma Collins never fails to shock fans. Here are her most shocking moments. I haven't even Gemma Collins. I was surprised with that she even had fans. To be fair, who's a Gemma Collins fan? But she prided herself on saying things the way she sees. But sometimes she says too much. From toe curling moments about her nether regions and the various woes that befall them, to her need to break wind at every opportunity. She delivers her fair share of gross moments over the years. Stinky crotches, yellow diarrhea, disgusting her co-stars with her dog farts are just part of her extensive repertoire. Well, has she really got fans? Who's a fan of that, really? I mean, who's giving this woman any kind of fucking airtime? Dog farts, apparently, she's quite famous for. So I've never actually seen anything with her in it. I've just seen the pictures of her in the paper. So if you're a fan of Gemma Collins, have a fucking look in the mirror if that's the kind of thing that you find amusing or interesting. Right, going to finish up on. Oh yeah, an enraged fox hunter was caught on camera squirting fox piss in an elderly protester's face during a heated interrogation. So they've gone armed to a fox hunt with fox piss. So they're pissing them off, aren't they? Trying to fuck it, literally. But this lady, Julie Hadlow, named and shamed, Julie Hadlow of Ashford Valley, and other members, squirted the fox piss in the face of the 64-year-old man when he questioned their hunting methods. A video then shows a squirting the liquid in his face. He asks her what was in the bottle. Yeah, because she could have thought it was acid or something, innit? Luckily, it was only fox piss. Probably burned just as much though, but depends how long she'd had it. But she sprayed the liquid in his face because it's fox piss. He was left shaken and then, of course, suffered blocked sinuses and a sore throat soon after the incident. So straight away, as soon as he walked off, he thought, hang on a minute, compensation here. He's walked off and started talking about blocked sinuses and sore throats. I'm not feeling very well. He had to have blood tests and everything else. So he's gone straight for the money shot there, hasn't he? If you squirt fucking piss in my face, I'm going to fucking make it come out of your pocket. So she had to go to court and whatever. 12-month conditional discharge. He's played the ill card and probably got himself a few £1,000 out of it. So I don't know. You can squirt fox piss in my face for a few £1,000. Maybe you can't. I don't know. But that's what he's done, isn't it? Really, he's gone for the money. Puppets on their G-string. Rainbow puppets Zippy and George performed at Butlins as the warm-up act for a bunch of strippers. When Rainbow finished, the kids' telly favourites made a living at the nightclubs, student unions and holiday camps, and they were basically supporting the strippergrams and strippers before get the crowd into a frenzy before the strippers came on. I wonder if they were dressing them up and everything like that, or everyone was going for like lap dances with Zippy and Bungle. People would try to kidnap them, and I've never heard of puppet napping. He said people would nick them, and then they would have to fucking find out who did it, or the pissheads. So sounds shit actually, to be fair, but if you go to Butlins, that's what you get in it. Bungle, Zippy and strippers. That's pretty much fucking the order of the day. Talking of strippers, going to finish up on this last one. Male strippers, this is the last one, yeah. Male strippers have revealed that some shocking behaviour they're exposed to in their jobs, with one admitting that some women forget that they are human beings. Ah, the guy's getting all kind of, feels a little bit, what's he feeling, abused? Or feels, you're a dream boy, he's going to, he said the claimed female guests at shows often try to grab their penises and put them in their mouths. Fucking hell. Rob Singers, who works as a dream boy in London, opened up to The Sun about the disturbing part of his job. The 30-year-old admits he was shocked by the behaviour at the beginning, but is now used to it. He has been scratched multiple times over the years and was once left bleeding from his penis. Well, if you're going to fucking swing your penis around where there's drunk women with sharp nails and glass and all that kind of stuff, it's part of the job, isn't it? You don't walk into it. You can't complain about a job like that and say, you jump in the crowd. You're literally swinging it in their faces, some of them, aren't they? They fucking get off the stage and they're grinding them. So if you've got a distance, so you can't do it, can they? But if you're going to be sort of grabbing their heads and everything, I bet they're all doing it both ways, isn't you? So he's complaining, but then he's saying hen parties are the worst by far when it comes to bad behaviour. And another guy, Javier, said he's been given countless phone numbers during his 5 years he's been on the job. One bride even messaged him to ask her to go to her hotel, which he went, which he now regrets. And the only reason the pair didn't have sex because the bride's sister got involved. So, fucking hell, she's a catch, isn't she? She's a winner. I wonder if the guys ever found out about that. Well, or any of the others, because that ain't just a fucking one-off, is it? So yeah, so you can't complain about it and then be like going, oh yeah, we fucking got the numbers. They're chucking themselves at us. And the next thing you know, oh, but one scratched my penis when she tried to stick it in her mouth. Goes with the territory, goes with the job. So if you fancy being a dream boy, that's what you got to look forward to. So alcohol, they often throw alcohol and money at him when he's on stage. Some people, a dream boy, that's a dream job. So anyway, gonna leave it there. Leave that as your food for thought. Any blokes out there now going, fucking hell, sounds pretty good, that does. I'm going to leave it there because it's been a long video, it's been a long day. Hopefully going to see you again tomorrow, so hopefully you enjoyed it. It's been a bit all over the place, but that's what it's all about. See you later. Bye.